Can you hear me? Not sure? Yes. Welcome to this special session, which is on digital transformation in energy and smart cities. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be here and co-facilitating with my colleague, Luca Canetta. And between us, we will be asking questions, having a discussion on the sort of topic of transformation, digital transformation in energy and smart cities. I am from the University of Nottingham, Professor of Operations Management and Supply Chain. And my colleague, Luca, do you want to say one or two words?
Okay, so welcome to everyone and thanks to our distinguished speaker. I'm also Professor of Operations and Supply Chain Management, but in the University of Applied Science of South of Switzerland. And I'm glad to know what is going to happen in the future in this fascinating topic.
Yeah, okay. The main sort of the approach which we are going to adopt, the agenda is going to be, we're going to have a questions, answer session, and there'll be presentations. And we hope to finish all our question answer session by, say, 2:45, even though we have started a little late, hope to finish by, say, 2:45. And then I think there will be time for you to ask any specific questions you may have. And you may be working on specific projects or you have experience, and we want you to share this with our colleagues here. And so the plan, I think, say, finish by 2:45, and hopefully the whole session finish by 2:55. And so what we have is experts from different domains. We have obviously Helen Rodriguez. And then we have Paula Cabasso and Dieter Uckelman. I think I'll ask them to introduce themselves. Carl, unfortunately, didn't want to be on the panel, but I think colleague is here. And so just to start off, if I can ask each one of you just to introduce yourself for 1 minute or 2 minutes about your interest, about the type of work or issues associated with digital transformation and smart cities. Just briefly, the type of work you're doing now, just for 1 minute, just to give us a flavor of yourself. Start with you.
My name is Dieter Uckelmann. I'm professor at HFT Stuttgart, University of Applied Sciences, and I'm also scientific director of our research institute. And my background is on the Internet of Things. This is my research topic for more than 20 years. And while the Internet of Things started in logistics and production engineering, went to Industry 4.0, but then also to another domain, which is called Smart City. And this is why I'm sitting here today. And we have a large project at HFT Stuttgart called iCity focusing on this. We were lucky to get a large fund from the Research Ministry of Education and Research. And so for 7 years now, we've been doing research on the smart city.
Thank you very much. So welcome to everyone. I'm Alain Zarly. I'm coming from France, from the French Riviera, by the way. And I'm senior managing partner at R2M Solution France. So R2M means research to market. And one of our job, I would say, is to support the companies and in particular innovative SMEs to move on along the technology readiness levels. But one of my job as well, which is a very important one from my point of view, is that I'm Secretary General of ECTP, which is a European construction technology platform. And we are also managing with the European Commission, and in particular DG Energy, but also in relationship with DG RTD and DG Connect, a co-program partnership, which is called Build for People, which is kind of a user-centric decarbonization of the built environment focused partnership. And in this context, well, I've been working, of course, I'm no more doing, unfortunately, research by myself, but I'm supporting many stakeholders involved in research and innovation in Europe to move on with integration of innovation in the built environment, including, of course, buildings, infrastructures, districts, and I would say a little bit by extension to cities as well.
Hello, I'm Patricia and I'm representing the municipality of Funchal. I'm not directly linked to digital transformation, but and I'm working in management. The operations are financing by the European funds, so I have more or less a link to some projects in this area.
Hello, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Helena Rodrigues. I'm Portuguese, and it's really an honor to be here in my country and representing the European Commission. So I work for the European Commission. So I work in Brussels, not in Portugal, unfortunately. No, I'm saying that, but yeah, really happy to work where I'm working. So I work in DG Connect in the unit responsible for the digital transformation of SMEs and public sector. And we are working in an initiative that is called the European Digital Innovation Hubs. And one of the focus of the EDIs, it's on the energy and smart cities, but I will develop this later on in my intervention in the panel. Thank you.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Carlos Castro. I'm representing APREM. Due to we have various projects in the digitalization of the APREM. APREM is the port authority here in Madeira. So I will be presenting a project that we are involved that is quite new, and APREM is glad to be a part of this meeting.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think that in order to start, we can have an overview of what is the current status of the energy sector, the smart cities. And in order to do that, I will kindly ask to Patricia Taylor to provide an overview of the initiatives that are currently taking place there. Thanks.
I would like to start by thanking the invitation and hope to make a valuable contribution to this panel. Today, our society are living new challenge and have new needs. This became from the natural evolution of science and technology that are faster and faster every day. This affects our lives and obviously our cities. Municipality of Funchal have to respond for this new challenge. Because smart city is no longer the future, it's the reality, and affects positively our municipality and their management. In order to change the paradigm and support the evolution and the transition to a smart city, it was crucial for Funchal to have developed his own information technology infrastructure, expand his available online service, and invest in technological innovation. One of the main factors for implementing a smart city is the creation of a base infrastructure which supports both those solutions we have already implemented and those who will be implemented in the future. In the case of Funchal, the city currently already includes the fiber optic and LoRaWAN networks, which allows long-distance communication with low energy consumption and a high security to receive all type of information and data from different sources and parameters. The optic network, currently with 20 kilometers long, allows the municipality to have, for example, automatic traffic counting, a video surveillance system in the city, which is being implemented now, and the connection for 11 different municipal services. In a simple way, the LoRaWAN networks allows the municipality to have data in real time by installing sensors of various types. So we have already implemented 180 parking sensors like parking meters, loading and unloading locations, and sharing stations for electric vehicles, smart waste bins, ecological islands, and containers with filling sensors. In testing, we have 50 smart water meters, automatic communication, and environment sensors that allow us to have data on air quality, noise, humidity. In the near future, we are looking to install irrigation sensing network and also monitor energy consumption. About the service we have, Sigma is a municipal management center, which allows better coordination and guidance of everything that happens in the city in the real time. This is the only way to make the urban center more efficient and responsiveness with better service for all those who live or pass. It will also enable the city council service to work in a much more systematic and articulated way, in interconnection with other entities such as security and rescue forces. Sigma aggregates in one modular and functional space all of technology and all of managed service platforms and channels, occurrence management, online service management, and screening function via contact center or email. In 2 years, non-face-to-face interaction increased from 35% to 80%. The screening function allows directly access to current service, increasing response efficiency. The incident management functional alerta allows to report incidents in the city in a simple and practical way, on an fixed or mobile device. Our online service management allows the municipality to monitoring in real time the service and requests from residents and set of indicators and information from the city at various levels: environment, water and sanitation, traffic. We also have our online service, the CRMEF Online, that allows to carry out a vast offset operations in a secure, convenient and practical way, with 17,000 registered citizens and 40 services available with 30,000 access months. Interconnect 4 platforms and have a large number of applications, such as Manual for Basic Education, Scholarship for Higher Education Students, Social Support, Financing Measures. Incorporates the mobility map, which allows the citizen to access all useful information and updates on the day or date of the city. This CMF Online is all management by Sigma. We have another project under development. Maybe it will be in function in the beginning of 2025. This project is financed by the Recovery and Resilience Plan that will also promote the digitalization. The project aims to boost commerce in downtown Funchal through technological reinforcement, increased technology infrastructure, increased information for residents and tourists, improvement of work process, encourage the trade. Among several measures, the municipality will improve the municipality cards, which aim to promote commercial activity and allow citizens to access to various services, both in the dematerialized way, by app or by a physical form with a card. Citizens will be able to use their municipal card as a payment method, benefit from discounts in the neighborhood stores, access to marketplace that will be delivered by our partner in the project, ASIF, access to multiple services, such culture like theater, museums, or leisure, access to public transport, and access to municipal park. And for now, that's all. If you have any questions, then, okay.
many benefits and the many activities that are currently covered thanks to digital transformation at the municipal level and the society level. In order to complement this vision, I will kindly ask to Carlos Castro to tell us how, on the other end, the process of the Harbour Authority are changed thanks to digital transformation.
Well, the port authorities in Madeira have a lot of projects, and some of these are in focus with the smart cities. In focus with the smart cities, we are trying to we are in the middle of the digitalization of the energy counters, also the water counters. Because one of the main things that we provide to our cruise ships in Funchal is water. And also, we are doing studies because one of the big problems is Madeira is an island and it's far away from the mainland. And due to the decarbonization of the ports also, one of the studies that we also are doing in Funchal is the possibility to equip the ports with the onshore power management. And that's, as you can see, in the mainland is a big problem, and Madeira is another one. We have various projects also in the digitalization of the infrastructures of APREM, because we have many passengers offloading in Madeira. So I believe in this, more or less, we are involved also in a fiber optics grid for APREM. So it will be integrated into the Funchal municipal grid also. So we are trying to integrate APREM into the smart cities also.
Thank you. Does anyone would like to add something about the current status, the main driver, the current trends in terms of smart city and energy sector?
Well, I think there are numerous projects on smart cities around Europe, and I think we're all doing a lot of research here to integrate different parts from city planning to architecture, to looking at buildings, energy consumption, mobility concepts. So I think we really have a broad range of research going on. The question for me basically is, what is the next step? Because now we have a lot of let's say, isolated solutions, sometimes going towards digital twins, and how this will be going on in the future, that we kind of combine these different concepts. You mentioned about harbors being integrated into the municipal strategy, but I think we have more isolated islands of smart cities which need to be connected.
That's one of the presentations that I'm going to do. It's about APREM's involvement in the project that is Shift to the Sea. And we have one of the main objectives of the project is to do a digital twin of the harbor. So with the digital twin, we can see the future of or trying to implement different strategy in the energy level.
Yes, I think this is very interesting. I think the whole issue about smart cities and delving into each aspect of a smart city is quite a complex scenario. And this I would like to Alain, for example, and he has a lot of experience in built environment, done a lot of work in a digitalization of a built environment. I would like him to just share his experience on what work has been done and some of the challenges which we are facing.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gül. Once again, very good, warm welcome to all. I've been asked to, well, let's say set a little bit the scene for what could be indeed our future, what are the challenges and drivers, and in particular in terms of digital transformation that we foresee. There were already some interesting discussion, and we are conscious that, well, we are going, and there is no more question on that we are going, of course, to rely on this concept of digital twin. We are already developing digital twins for buildings, for harbors, for networks. One can imagine that, of course, tomorrow we will have a city digital twin. This is, for instance, the ambition, you know, in Luxembourg to have a national digital twin for the whole country. Then one can imagine, of course, that it will be only a single digital twin, in some way stored in a single place, but indeed definitely connecting different digital twins of the different facets, I would say, of the city. We want this, of course, for what reason? It is indeed to deal with very advanced services in the future, in terms of energy, in terms of water, in terms of resilience of our buildings and of our places. It is also about mobility. It could be about waste, by the way, and circularity. But all this, of course, has to consider quite a huge set of heterogeneous data, and quite a lot of data are also coming from the people living, of course, in the city. And this is where you deal with crowd sensing, crowdsourcing, and at a given point in time, there should be also implication of the citizens, you know, in the elaboration of the future services, to have kind of a user-centric open innovation to develop future services in smart cities. And this is all about digital transformation of the city. So it's smart cities along with smart communities living in those smart cities. And this is something which is very, very important. And if you refer, for instance, to the sustainable development of the United Nations, you can see that you can connect to many of those 17 sustainable development goals that have been summarized here. When we talk, of course, about digital twins, we basically fundamentally talk about data. And of course, we still have quite a lot of things to achieve in terms of how are we going to access, organize, structure, define our data. There are, of course, well, now we are able, of course, thanks to sensors or even thanks to the Web of Things, the Internet of Things, but now the Web of Things as well, we can get quite a lot of different data. But we have also to consider that those data are to be contextualized in one way. And I would like just very, very quickly to give a short example when we talk about, for instance, data qualification or data contextualization. And I had a very interesting talk with Mark, who is among us this morning. He told me, well, in my home, well, I have a thermometer, you know, for instance, indicating 18 degrees. So then I want, of course, to switch on the heating system because it's a little bit cold. But indeed, the reality is that, and I put, of course, the level of the heating system at 20, for instance, 20 degrees. But then, of course, at a given point in time, yes, the heating system hit the 20 degrees, but it's not indeed really 20, it's more. Why? Because, for instance, the thermometer is put on a wall which is close to the outside and influenced by the cold air from the outside. So you understand that you have to get the signature of the data, which provide you with a value, but also the contextual use of these value. And that's something which is very, very important. And then, of course, well, if you want to do more advanced computerization, then you will have to deal with different models. And I would say that in the don't panic, I'm not getting into the details of each and every detail of this figure, but this one has been elaborated in the context of the European Construction Technology Platform for buildings and districts. What are the different types of data we are talking about? We are talking about, of course, of building information modeling data, geographical information, cadastre information. We are also talking about all dynamic data. We have to talk about semantic models, defining the meanings of those data, and all this is going to be managed by those semantic digital twins. And I insist a little bit on the term semantic in that case. And then, of course, we want to operate on those data, typically through cognitive systems, or providing services for advanced computing and advanced engineering. And this is, of course, where all AI technologies play a key role on that. This is based on all those elements that, for instance, in ECTP, we have defined one of the 3 objectives of Strategic Research and Innovation Agenda for a digital transformation of the construction value chain to become more competitive, digitalized, and circular. And what we try to do is twofold. We try to leverage on these, typically for having local value chain in regions and cities working together and starting to use those interoperable digital tools. But there is also something which is very important, that in our environment, we have quite a lot of SMEs. Some of them are innovative, some of them are less. And we wanted to leverage on a very interesting initiative from the European Commission and DigiConnect, and I guess that Elena will probably mention it in more detail than me. But indeed, the European Digital Innovation Hubs has revealed to be a unique opportunity for us to build up in some way to achieve this digital transformation, step by step, of course, incrementally, but to build up the digital capacities of SMEs, of public sector organizations, and of course leading to having some demonstrators that are also useful for the citizens. And for instance, among the 150 digital innovation hubs that are today supported throughout Europe by the European Commission, we're very happy that, ECTP has been instrumental in convincing some ECTP members to go for those digital innovation hubs, and we have so far 8 of them, which are dedicated to construction, 1 in Finland, 1 in Belgium, 2 in Germany, 1 in Spain, 1, by the way, unfortunately not in Madeira, but not far from Madeira, in Lisbon, 1 in Italy, and 1 in Greece. And those digital innovation hubs, from our point of view, will be also instrumental in supporting this digital transformation, linking also to those notion of smart communities that I referred at the very beginning. Thank you.
I think this is something which Helena talked yesterday about EDIH now networks in your keynote presentation. And also this morning there's a very interesting presentation by Richard Stevens about data. And we think about data which we're generating in our everyday environment, by the mobile phones or through IoT devices in cities. That's accumulating to a huge amount of volume of data. And I think, again, Richard gave an example this morning, and now storing this data. I think you talked about these hubs and networks which exist. Perhaps you can share your experience on those.
Yeah, indeed. So the European Digital Innovation Hubs, it's an initiative, and thank you, Alan, for having introduced this topic that is so close to me, to my heart, to be honest. This initiative, so it's inside the Digital Europe program, and it's so we are talking about projects that are funded with European funds. And so the main goal of these EDIs, European Digital Innovation Hubs, is to support the SMEs and the public sector in their digital transformation. So when we are talking about a lot of different sectors, technologies, and included in the EDIs. So really the EDIs were developed together, so in close contact with the member states, with the countries that are participating in this program, taking into account the specificities and the priorities of the countries. So, and as Alan explained, so some EDIs are focused on construction, mainly on construction. There are other EDIs that have also construction in their part, so but they are not only focused on construction. And we have also EDIs that are have a specialization on energy and smart cities. And yeah, I did a research before I joined this panel, and we have more than 60 EDIs that they declared that they have the expertise on smart cities and energy. So as you can see, the knowledge is there, the willing to support the SMEs and the public sector, it's there, and indeed there's a lot of things to do for in these two sectors, and the EDIs could help and could support the companies that need to have this push and this guidance and orientation how to become more digitalized. The construction is also an area that it's yeah, there's a lot of things to do in this sector, because it's traditionally a sector that it's not digitalized. You see that the people, the workers, they have normally low skills, low digital skills, and it's really a sector that that needs to have this push, and the EDIs are there also to help. Just to finalize here my contribution or this promotion of the European Digital Innovation Hubs. I want to say that we have created this notion of the network of the EDIs, and especially for the construction, we have a thematic working group for all the EDIs that have the focus on construction, and this thematic working group exists. So we organize meetings where all the EDIs, or it's open to all the EDIs that wants to participate, and the IH as well. And so if you want to be part of this thematic working group on construction, you are very welcome. You just have to go to the EDIH website that is called EDIH Network, and you find all the information there about this thematic working group on construction. And now, really to finalize, I want to tell you that we will organize now, after this session, now at 3, from 3 to 6, we will be in a room. So some EDIs will do presentations about what they are doing, their specialization with some examples, and we will be together from 3 to 6 in a room. I think the name of the room is Selvagens 3, on the other side of the street, and you are more than welcome to come and to participate and to share your experience and to ask questions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very interesting again. I think thank you for complimenting and promoting your session as well. Now I'll turn to Dieter. I think can you just share your experience at all on the data, because we talked about the data which is quite centric, which Alan mentioned. Can you share your perspective on this?
Yeah, I think data is a very central element, and collecting this data to one instance. So one of the projects we have in the large ICE City project is about urban digital twins, where we connect different kind of data sources, sensors, and other data into one source, basically. So there we are doing extensive research on the topic, and we have other projects within the ICT project where data is not the main issue if you think about construction and about facades and so on. But actually, I think really most projects we have some relation to data. So we also identify buildings in the street, we cluster those, it's all data. We use satellite data to do some analysis of cities. We do wind simulations in the city. We do sound and acoustic noise simulations within the city, and have sensor data to collect those. We look at emissions within the city, and all of this produces data, And we still have to see what's the benefit of really matching this data together to get some added benefit out of that. So I think there will be more research going on. And as I said, for the future, I think getting all those data streams together and providing humans the right information on this data. I think this is a core topic, and I think if we think about cities, it's mainly the citizens. So how do we transport the data to the citizens? What do they want to know? What is their sensory need? What kind of information do they want to have? And how do we show this? And I think this will be a topic for the future if we think about data, that it's not just stored somewhere and we have some AI algorithms running there, but we also show to the citizens what kind of value this data has.
Thank you very much. I think I think we have listened to different perspectives, from the European Commission perspective, a regional perspective, and of course academic research perspective, and Pacific industrial perspective. So it is a hugely complex area to understand, to digest, and move forward. And perhaps I'll ask Luca for the next part.
Yeah, so we saw that it's complex. We saw that we are touching the technological part, data part. We have impact on society. So we would like to complement what you already told, providing maybe some brief introduction to some example of best practice, leader initiative that can be led to really pave the future for smart cities, to understand what has become to be the more important goal to achieve, and as it was told, build environment, energy sector, smart city, everything is connected. So which can be the major interplay between these hot topics, and how we can ensure that this kind of innovation is targeting the right objective. So we would like to present.
Oh, yeah, okay.
As a starting point, we have one lead initiative, when we can expand for sure on other initiative and other aspects.
So you wanted to know about best practices, actually? This is what you started? So I need to go back then, because I looked into other things. So let me just go back here. Yeah, so I mentioned that we have a large project at HFT Stuttgart called iCity, an 8-year project in between. So we received about 10 million funding, about 50 researchers working on the topic of smart cities. And we have about 45 partners. And I think this is also part of the idea how to bring it to the outside. You need to have partners who can follow up on this, because what we can do is just pilot some things, and we need to have those industrial partners to really follow up on this and bring this to the market. And for my part, as I said, I'm from the background of Internet of Things, so this is my main topic, and so I'm involved in topics related to this, such as universal digital twins for ICTs, sensors and simulation for energy efficiency and the environment, and smart public buildings. And here are some of the research questions. So how can recent IoT and smart home developments be used to contribute to energy monitoring and reduction in public and industrial buildings? And how can different data streams be connected in an urban data platform? And this is what we're looking at this partial project. Then we have a use case here. So this is a large industrial facility, about 4,000 employees there. They have their own heating system, their own cooling system. They have centralized data systems to control the buildings. But what they are missing yet is that they don't go down to room level, basically. So they can control on a building level, but we are adding smart technologies, basically, to also get energy consumptions of machines and to aggregate this so they have a better visibility about their energy consumption. And you see here a graphic showing a lot of the energy consumption data there. I mean, they are using classical tools for building control systems, but we have problems there, or that they had problems that these tools don't collect historical data. And for analysis, we need historical data. So this was also developed to kind of store this data and do some analysis on this. And we're adding smart sensors, as you're seeing here on the right, to see, for example, room occupancy and other data on rooms as well. And you mentioned LoRaWAN, that you in Funchal established such a network, and I think that's also the basis that we have the corresponding industrial or Internet of Things networks such as LoRaWAN, 5G and other technologies. And you see here that it's quite complex to combine even two things here. So we have to bridge different kind of proprietary systems from wired connections through different protocols such as Modbus, converted over LoRaWAN to IP-related systems, have then MQTT and so on. It's much too complex, so we need to simplify this in the future, and I think this is also something that we need to work on. This is another slide where we show the integration of public buildings and infrastructures into smart city platforms. And we tried to integrate the stakeholders, so we went to a public school and basically had teachers and school kids involved in this project to monitor the energy consumption on their building and do some real-time analysis on this. Then here's another use case where we did a kind of iterative co-design analysis together with the city, and we use a certain kind of methodology, which I've used before, called the semiotic ladder. And through an iterative process, we kind of showed to the city how they can constantly improve on infrastructures and IoT infrastructures and digital twins, because it's not installed one time and then it's done. It's a continuous improvement process, and this is what we also look at. So again, we have different protocols, again, MQTT and all those things that we need to bridge. I will not go into this because it should be just a short thing. But what I would like to show is a slide or picture I came across just lately. It's from a European report from 2023 on the Cityverse, and it shows a standardization landscape for the Cityverse. And this is what I am focusing on for the future, because it fits very well. The background of the Internet of Things we have here, we have all the multiple data sources we have in a city, but which are not that well connected yet. So we can integrate them through the Internet of Things, have multiple logical digital twins for the harbor, for other applications. And then we have all those blue things here, which are somewhat related to modern IoT technologies or modern IT technologies, including artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, as we heard this morning, extended reality, which is always something you combine with the vision of Cityverse or Metaverse. We have SIM and BIM and blockchain and all those technologies coming into that. And on top of this, we have the domains, the applications, and there we have, for example, the sustainability issues, smart city, urban planning, mobility issues. And if we can combine this into one system, I think we have a very good cross-benefit of leveraging all the data we have. And this is something that I would be looking on for the future. So I hope, I started with practices we're doing now and showing what it could be looking like in the future. Thank you.
Okay, I think, thank you very much. That's very interesting. I think the whole idea of Cityverse and the future vision is quite enlightening. I did say at the beginning, we want to finish by 5:02. And I did also say that we want a question and answer session. Unfortunately, we start a little late. So therefore, I think we can spend, look at the program. I know the next session starts at 3 o'clock. We have just brief time for 1 or 2 questions. Does anyone have a specific burning question like to ask? Okay.
Hello, Carola Schulz, Empirica, Germany. I have a question to our representative from municipality of Funchal. Sorry, I don't remember your name. You presented this concept of the municipality card that you are that you will implement with the the recovery fund funds. I would like to know whether you will also analyze the data that this card generates, or whether it will only stay locked on the citizen card. And by the way, I really love your city.
We start the process. So we are in the concept, now we are defining the concept of the municipal card, and then we work in, how we say, what the service we want, what we have in the card, and we have indicators in the project that we have to meet. Yeah. So we have that. We have to have that data. So behind the card, we always have the data, of course. But we're still working on that.
If nothing from Carlos, do you want to say anything at all?
I would just like to make the presentation on the shift to DC, if you please.
Please keep it short, okay?
I'll try to be brief, so the time is quite a bit too late, but we'll see. Well, I'm representing APREM. APREM is the port authority here in Madeira. And we essentially have three ports. One is for cruise ships, another one is for cargo ships, and we have the next island that is Porto Santo, and we have a mix in the Porto Santo area. And we have a ferry that goes side to side. We were involved in a project called Shift to DC. I believe is one of the interesting things about the smart cities and the digital twins is the problem with the energy side. Shift to DC is an Horizon approach project. It's a new approach to the direct current. Solutions are used, power systems, by creating smarter, more efficient and eco-friendly energy systems. The project will focus, by the way, on reshaping the use of electricity through the integration of the DC solutions in four main structures in the project: data centers, the ports, the buildings, and industry. It is a project that involves 42 months, 11 million of EU funding, and the coordinator is Ines ID from Lisbon, and we are one of the partners. There will be 4 demos, one involving buildings in France, and 2 in Germany, one for data centers and one for industries. And we in Madeira have the only project in Portugal that is for the port side. In the port demonstrator that will be implemented in Funchal, there are 2 main objectives: the study of the potential DC solutions and the digital twin to evolve and analyze the user perspective. The problem that we have is essentially the DC port management. Large cruise ships that we have in Funchal can go up to 10 megawatts of power. The problem is, when you get a ship that's connected to the grid, how do you give 10 megawatts of power if it's even possible? The project aims to see what is the possibilities and to do grid coordination using our renewable energies also. And try to do a DC microgrid. and also use the charging for the cars and the PV systems, and try to consider the use of the harbor as a DC energy hub. In our words of our CEO, APREM's participation in the Shift to DC project demonstrates the commitment and pledge in finding efficient, sustainable and intelligent energy solution for Madeira's port infrastructures and equipment. And I believe this should be the way to the future and for all of us. And thank you.
I think that's, again, it's a very, very interesting perspective. I think just in conclusion, in summary, I'm really sort of pleased and amazed, and we just simply touched the surface of some of the issues associated with digital energy and smart city. The word smart city sounds fantastic, wonderful. Beyond all these gadgets in our homes, businesses, social places, schools, and of course transport. Yet the data which is being generated is phenomenal. And then that also has implications for energy, which I think unfortunately we didn't have time to explore. And which again requires, where do we generate the energy? Who's generating it? What source of energy? Is it wind? Is it solar? Is it nuclear? Or some other way of generating energy? And that has implications for all of us. Are we environmentally friendly, environmentally sort of neutral in a way? So all these implications are intertwined, interconnected. And I think we simply touched the surface on some of these issues. And I think I'm really delighted, I think, the contribution from each of the speakers. And of course, thank you very much for being here and listening to excellent contributions. So please join me in thanking all the contributors for what they have said. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you.